Hey you guys, Markus here. I was asked by a friend how meditation affects the way I make music. This is a very good question. I haven't thought about that before. And so I thought that might be a good topic for a video. I started meditating about 6 years ago and I sit every day 30 minutes, at least during the working days. And I try to sit with my teacher and with my group once a month, but I live about 2 hours with a car away from them, so it's not always that easy. The kind of meditation I do is called Zen. Zen is a Buddhist tradition with its origin in Japan. There are two different schools of Zen, Rinzai and Soto. I don't want to talk too much about the differences between the two of them. But the tradition I'm meditating in, I'm practicing in, is Soto. And Soto is based on Master Dogen. He was a Zen master who lived in the first half of the 13th century. The core of Zen is Za-Zen, the meditation of the upright posture. And the attitude of Za-Zen is just sit. And that's very easy, but very hard to do at the same time. So how do we do Za-Zen? First of all, I'm not a Zen master or Zen teacher, so everything I'm telling you are things I have experienced, I've learned from my teacher, or it is content I read in books. We retreat to a quiet and calm place and we sit cross-legged on the floor. We use a little round cushion, which is called a zafu. It would be perfect to sit in the full lotus, which is very hard to do in the beginning. So any other way to sit grounded on the floor will be fine as well. You can also sit on a bench, of course, even on a chair. I personally prefer sitting in the half lotus. The pelvic is tilted a little bit forward, so the spine is upright in a very natural way. Our hands are like this. This is called a mudra. And our eyes are half open, so we are relaxed and wide awake at the same time. We are not focused on anything in special. In the beginning, it might be helpful to focus on the breath. We don't force breathing. We just observe our body inhaling and exhaling. When you focus on a point called hara, which is maybe 2 or 3 centimeters beneath the belly button, your breath becomes deep, calm, and slow automatically. When we talk about meditation, we might have the idea that meditation is a state of mind free of thinking, but this is not necessarily the case. We don't try to suppress our thoughts and we don't follow them either. It's just like watching clouds in the sky, coming and going, noticing them being around. Our attitude is not to hold on to anything or to reject anything. There's an expression by Kosho Uchiyama, open up the hand of thought, which I find very helpful. Zen sometimes is called the goalless practice. So what is that supposed to mean? It means we sit without intention, without expectations, because expectations sometimes can be obstacles. There was an influential Zen master in the 20th century, his name was Sawaki, and he used to say that Zen is good for nothing. So this sounds absolutely ridiculous. Of course, Za-Zen is good for anything, and it's common knowledge today, and there's a lot of scientific evidence either. Meditation has a positive impact on both our body and mind. And why would you sit cross-legged on the floor with hurting knees if it wasn't good for anything? So why would he say that? The answer is easy. It's all about the attitude. The attitude is to sit without intention. And this not gaining, not wanting mind has helped me a lot in my life with doing Za-Zen, with my daily life, and also with my life as a musician. And I call it wanting without wanting. This is my attitude doing Za-Zen and my attitude as a musician. As you know, I make my living as a musician, and this is the best job I ever could imagine, and I never wanted to do anything else. I consider it a gift doing this for almost 30 years now. And I have a few students, so I'm a guitar teacher, and I play in a couple of bands, and I play a lot of concerts. And I do some theater stuff as well. And so if a symphony orchestra wants to play a modern piece of music, maybe a musical, and they need a guitar player, I'm the one. I'm one of the guys. Not the only one, I'm one of the guys they used to call. And that means I have to read music a lot. And most of the time I sit in the middle of an orchestra with a conductor in front of me, and with an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar, maybe a banjo, a mandolin, whatever. And I have to read music. And simultaneously I have to follow the hand of the conductor. And I have to admit that sometimes I experience a little bit of pressure doing that. I have to be highly focused and concentrated, a little bit like a laser ray. And then another day, another night, I play with my funk band and we're just jamming on one or two chords, and it's totally different. It feels like the opposite. My mind is open, I'm in the flow, or maybe I'm in the zone, or whatever you want to call that, or however you want to define these expressions. So these are two totally different states of mind we're in when we're making music. And it has nothing to do with success or not, with right or wrong, having fun or not. It simply means there's no static state of mind we used to be in when making music. And of course we want to be in the flow, being one with ourselves, being one with the instrument, being one with the audience, being one with the whole entire universe. But it's not that simple. Making music is a very complex challenge. We need to do we need to do a lot of different things. Being focused on the right notes, the right velocity, the right timing. Just let go and feel the music at the same time. So this is a difficult thing. When we observe ourselves honestly, we will recognize that we tend to gain for pleasant emotions, and we try to avoid unpleasant emotions. The more intense, the better. But this does not necessarily lead to a better music performance. This is just what our ego dictates us. So just following our ego blindly without reflecting doesn't lead to a good music performance. We have to go one step further. What does that mean? Robert Fripp was interviewed in the early 1990s. He was on tour with the League of Crafty Guitarists. And it was a great tour, by the way. And he said, music is not about expressing the self. This is a clear and strong statement. The focus must be on the music, not on the ego. But can we just eliminate our ego? Certainly not. Let's take a closer look what's going on in our mind when we're making music. The body is in motion, there are sensations, we hear what we play and what the others play, we act, we react, we see the sheets, the instruments, the other musicians, the audience, we sensate our emotions and feelings, and we hear our thoughts inside our heads. And the thoughts are just appearing from the unconsciousness and they're disappearing again, the unconsciousness, or whatever it is. I'm not a psychologist. But the point is, I am not able to willingly create or deceive them. It's just the way it is, and we have to accept that. No matter if they're pleasant or not, helpful or annoying. Fortunately, most of the time I enjoy making music, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just want to say, being in the zone or flow does not necessarily happen all the time. And I'm fine with that. There's no need to change that. During Za-Zen, we just recognize whatever comes and goes. We don't try to hold on to anything or try to reject anything, like I said before. If you practice that for a couple of years, it will affect the way you experience your inner life. You will get more aware of that. Maybe you will learn to accept things as they are. This is what we call letting go. So letting go means letting be. So you can say there's no particular state of mind. Everything's just changing from moment to moment. Always being in the zone is just an idea, an ideal, or a concept. We're not living in a perfect world. With the experience of meditation, the mind becomes calm, clear, and open. Open for all the things come and go. We let them be, no matter if they're pleasant or not. And when we do that, something changes automatically. Without forcing it, it just happens. Let's take a look again to the statement of Kurosawaki, Za-Zen is good for nothing. It's the same thing with playing the guitar. Playing the guitar is good for nothing. Of course, we need to have a strong motivation. It's hard to practice for years to improve the skills. Without a very strong motivation, you wouldn't do that. However, this motivation can lead to a lot of struggle as well. And so we go one step further and we leave the gaining mind behind. And this is what I call wanting without wanting. In the end, there's one thing left. Just dive into it. Really become it. Be this very moment. This very moment is the only moment I can do anything. The only moment I can play a note. It's the only moment I can breathe or experience anything. The past is gone. There's only a memory left. The future's not here yet. I can only anticipate what I'm going to play next. Be aware how long this present moment is. How long or how short. Maybe 1, maybe 2 seconds. Not a freeze or a fixed image. Only a few tones out of a melody. You can never hear a whole melody at the same time. Have you ever thought about that? You can only hear 1 or 2 notes and only emotion from one note to another. And being one with this moment, going this one step further, to drop off any idea of good and bad, of right or wrong, self or not self, guitar or guitar player, musician or audience, wanting, not wanting, being in the zone, being not in the zone. You cannot put into words, you cannot even think it. This is a wonderful and ongoing experience. And to me, Za-Zen is just a mind wide and open. Nothing fancy, nothing spectacular, nothing esoteric, nothing whatever. It's just the ordinary life. And so is music. So this is it. I hope I could work out some relevant points about meditation and making music. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Have a nice day.